Go ahead.
Hey, oh, I see Brooke and Mary Ellen added too. Hello, ladies. Hey, Debbie. So we're just talking about that we're doing this wonderful campaign of adding more good. And we decided to add more good by just giving you the most minimal thing we could think of just to kind of keep your business going each day, that you can just go in there, the graphics are there, videos are there, possible verbiage is there, it's all there for you. And so we were just trying to add more good and make things simple for you. And I'm just curious, who's tried one or two or three of those days last week? How did it feel? What'd you like? What you didn't like? Let me just open it up and give me a little bit of results.
And you'll need to unmute yourself because everybody is muted if you want to talk. Go ahead, Olga, you're unmuted.
Okay, yes. I thought it was a great idea. I liked the verbiage was perfect, just simple, nothing I had to like memorize or just like it just came naturally. So it was nice. I actually got one customer. I called them for the add more good. So that was nice. It worked out well. It's nice to go on Facebook and have some little thing that you can, follow and do. And sometimes I don't know where to start. So that's nice to have that, especially since I'm still not working. So I'm enjoying that. I was able to do that. And I also like the one that you guys posted about do something fun. What do you like to do that's fun? And ask, open it up to super people. So I did a little thing that you saw with running. What I was surprised about was that I had like 80 views and so many comments, but everybody just liked it. Nobody answered the question, and what do you like to do to keep, to start your day in a good vibe type of thing? Nobody answered. Except you guys.
You know what? Sometimes I think it just depends. Like Molly and I went walking that day. Of course, I posted the worst picture ever. There's mostly just space between us. I just didn't have arms long enough. I barely got my eyeball in there. And I think people just weren't big time on Facebook over the holidays. So I think if it would have been posted at different Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you would get that. But they still are getting to know you. So even if nobody likes it or they're getting to know you. So good for you. You were courageous, and congratulations on getting a new customer for getting in there and doing that. Anybody else have feedback?
I'm kind of like Olga. The thing that I did that was enjoyable was my grandkids, and we did water activity, and I just had a lot of people that liked or threw a heart at it. Didn't really have a lot of comment, but it still is exposure. Get me out on Facebook, which I'm not real good at. So.
I have to interrupt just a minute. I must take this call, so if you guys can continue this, I'll be right back.
Go ahead, Vic.
So I just went ahead and posted it. If nothing else, my grandkids got lots and lots of giggles out of it just watching the recording of the video. And so it was worth it to me, and maybe somebody will go back, and I know it was a holiday and a lot of people were probably gone, and maybe they'll go back and see it and just kind of create that interest, and hope they'll get some comments out of it. Yeah. The best part of it, though, was when I wrote to somebody what I appreciated, and I got an invitation out the next time I go down to my house in Sutherland from my neighbors, and I got a friendship post from a gal that I've known for 40 plus years, and so lots of positives that came from just those.
Ooh, nice.
What I appreciated or respected or admired about them.
Fantastic. And then not only did you get that back, but you gave that, no doubt how good that made them feel, to know that you appreciate them. People need to hear that more often.
Well, my neighbor in Sutherland, she's got shoulder surgery that's coming up. And so, yeah, she's cooped up inside and she probably doesn't have a lot of contacts. So just that note was an uplifting point for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else have something? I mean, how are you feeling about these these posts that we're sharing in Team Ignite?
Yeah, I'll share something, you guys.
Uh-huh.
You know, because I've been with the company for over 18 years, I kind of gotten into a routine about just giving a heads up to my customers. Are you ready for this? But I used the verbiage that Susie used, and I got an order when I called, connected with 3 customers. So this has given me some revival about asking, hey, you want to add some product? I love Complete. The shakes are awesome this summer, and you can make popsicles for your kids out of Complete and those kinds of things. So yeah, it's really helpful doing the deal.
Fantastic.
I just had some feedback, and I know it's only been a couple days, but whether I do 100% or perfect, it's so awesome to know that every day I have something to look at that is a focus. Otherwise, you can take one day of, I didn't do anything, and that can turn into the next and the next and the next, because you don't know where to get yourself going. So I love the idea of having something to go, to do.
Awesome. And is it helpful to have it the night before?
Yeah.
I noticed that, I think it was Olga that did it the night before. She got hers done. Somebody did. I think it was Olga. They got hers done the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, I like
works.
that. I like the night.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, I know like the one that I posted today, it looks like massive verbiage. So I don't want you to get scared when you read that, like, oh my gosh, what is she? Remember, the main meme tells you what to do, like number 1, number 2. I'm just trying to give verbiage. And what I did today, hopefully it didn't look like overboard, but I know once you give the verbiage, then some people said, well, what if they come back and say this? What do I do? Or what if they come back and say that? I just wanted you to have it all in one spot. So when you look at that, it's not that you're posting this paragraph of verbiage. Just take time and read through it, because I've had a couple of people too post or tell me, hey, where's the verbiage for that post? The verbiage will always be above the meme. And I know it's human nature. Sometimes when we see a whole bunch of print, we're just like, we skim it or we don't really read it, but that's there for you. But read it and be careful to make sure that it sounds like you and that it fits your customer. Tweak it where you need, and only post as much as need be for that conversation. But what I was trying to give you is, if the person answers yes, this could be another possible response to keep moving things along. If the person answers no, that's okay. Here's how you're going to move that conversation along. So take your time. It won't, it doesn't even take 5 minutes to just read what's on there. But I don't want you to be too scared if we have some days where you see a lot of print. It just means I'm just trying to pour my heart out and make you as prepared as possible and feel empowered. Okay. Well, did anybody else want to have any final words about that? I'm so proud of you just being courageous and getting out there and doing it. That's awesome.
Well, I don't know if this counts, but I mean, I just posted a picture of myself in my flag dress on Friday.
I loved it.
And didn't say much about anything, but all these likes come in. So I feel like that's always smart, because then it's going to drive people to my page when I do something else.
Absolutely. Okay. And you know what I think people liked about that? Because there were a lot of people posting flags or United States of America or things to go with Independence Day, but you were in your flag dress. People want to see you. And that's why, as much as possible, we want to put ourselves in there. People do. They want to know you, okay? Even if they don't comment or anything, let them just stalk you and be on the outside. It's good. Whatever entertains somebody, we're there for them. Well, excellent job. I know we're only 3 days into it, but I've already heard excitement. And so, we're committed to making these posts for the 90 days that we said we would do this 5 days a week. Do remember that if you're sitting here today and you're going, I didn't do any of those posts, you can always scroll back and do them. And what we're doing is we're making a whole album of this. So when this 90 days is done, if you ever get up one morning and you're thinking, I just don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, like, it's going to change some. We won't have the Add More Good campaign forever, right? But you'll be able to go there, and there will always be verbiage, there'll always be graphics, there'll always be ideas for customers, prospects, teammates. There's going to be a whole album of them. Every single one that we post is in one album with all the comments and all the verbiage. So, so we're excited about that. So what I wanted to talk about today is I had posted like an accountability meme, and I noticed nobody did it. So I'm challenging you again. Yes, Sonia. I kind of had the same reaction. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But we talked about it some last week. And if you have a pen or paper, I would love for you just to write down, and maybe we can talk about this some, of what's your warning sign. If you're committed and you say, you know what, I am, you know, even if I'm just going to do the minimum. Now, some of you are really building for big promotions. That means you're not, when we say contact 3 customers or 3+ customers, you might do all your customers, right? You might do 10, or you might do whatever. When we put that number, we're trying to get enough momentum. If you do at least 3 people each time, it's going to create momentum. And for those people who just want to keep their business kind of steady and going along, that is totally fine. You go for it. But for those of you going for big promotions, just know that doesn't mean to stop at 3. You go for it, as much time or energy or excitement as you have for that. But if you want to say this summer, you know what, 5 days a week, I'm going to touch my business. And you got to have that SOS plan of, okay, how am I going to know when I'm off base? And so we talked about that last week of, think of a warning sign. So if you're writing down any notes today, just write warning sign. And this is all in a post on Team Ignite. You can come back to this, but think, what is your warning sign that you've gone off course from that commitment you made to yourself? Let's say you say, I am going to do this 5 days of the week. It might not be Monday through Friday, but 5 days a week, I'm going to get on these memes and I'm going to do something on those memes. And all of a sudden, what happens? What's your warning sign? Does anybody have what they know would be a warning to them?
You mean like when it's warm out and I want to be in the gardens instead?
Oh my gosh, I love that. Absolutely. You have something that you know, I do this stuff too. Well, I'm busy. I'm still being productive. Right? If Lori goes out in her garden, that's awesome. She's productive. She can rationalize that in her head. But that is a warning sign if she made a commitment to get those memes done. And think about it. How long would it take Lori to at least do the minimum of those 3 people before she went in the garden and just had that monkey off her back? And then look at, so many of you had really great results where people really appreciated you, talking to them. What's another warning sign for some of you? Jen?
I think my warning sign would be just 2 days in a row of no activity. 1 day in a row, my brain can almost justify, well, I was really busy, I had this going on, that going on. But then 2 days in a row, it'd be like,
okay.
No.
And what I would say for you, when you do 1 day that you're off, that's a warning. When you do 2, you've gone into the danger zone.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So the same thing like Lori. She goes and works in the garden 1 day. Okay, that's a warning. But the next day she says, I think I'm going to do some online shopping. There can always be something, right? I think I want to clean the grout in my shower. We always have something. When you do that, when you do 1 and you already have that little flag of something in your head that says, I should probably just knock that out and get that done. And so what we really encourage you to do is, nobody knows if you did it or not. So get that affirmation, comment under there when you're done. If you get it done the night before, comment. If you get it done at 6 in the morning, comment. If you get it done at 11 p.m. that night, comment, so that it's your validation that, look, I got this done. I promise I will go in there and read it. If nobody else does, I will know that you did your work.
And I just want to also add that when you do it, when you're getting your work done, it's encouraging to others, and it can remind others, oh yeah, I didn't get that done. So
Yeah.
that can be an encouragement to others.
Well, and when I heard and read some of these stories, you know, people saying, I did this and then somebody wanted to buy, I did this and this person was so happy, we want to meet for dinner. I mean, I look at that as so, why would you not want to reach out when you see that kind of stuff? It's like, wow, imagine if that happened to me. You know, what if I reached out and just used that verbiage and all of a sudden I got a customer, right? Why not you? So then think about your danger zone. So the danger zone means usually this has happened 2 days in a row. This is a reoccurring pattern. If you know, yep, this is me, I'm just procrastinating. Or what if, do we have anybody, you sit down, you read the meme, you want to do it, but you just feel frozen. You just like, do you second guess yourself or wonder, well, what are they going to think? Or what if they think this? Or what if they think that? Do you know what we learned at conference? If you have those thoughts, are you thinking more of them or are you thinking more of you? And then you got to find a way to move yourself out and just picture it again. You've got a gift. You have this huge gift. Every single one of us have had happy customers with phenomenal results, or we've experienced our own. We've seen the research. We know we have a gift. So we just need to move ourselves out of the way to share, you know, to share that gift and get that gift out there. And the other thing is, there are other companies and things popping up out there, but nobody has the research. So don't be afraid to talk about, you know, when somebody tells you, oh my gosh, I haven't got sick in a while. Well, that makes total sense. You know, we have these 5 or 6 studies on the immune system. Isn't that exciting to take something that you know has been so thoroughly researched? I mean, just to be able to put little snippets, or maybe somebody's just looking at it. And so if you fall in the danger zone, the third thing that I'd have you write down, so you have the warning, it happens. The danger zone, it's continued to happen. Whatever that is for you, whether it has to happen 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row. And then the reaction. What are you going to do so that it doesn't, all of a sudden a week goes by and you haven't done it? And then 2 weeks go by and it just becomes easier not to do. So you need to come up with, how are you going to react? So does anybody have, what would be your reaction?
Well, I've been there, and then I just feel so bad that it's hard to even move forward, but then you got to, you know, I mean, I think always looking in my virtual office and then I can see if an order's shipping, that's like my danger zone. Like, oh, you know, like I got to do that. I have to do that. I have to reach out and ask about that. But there's certainly been periods where I've ebbed and flowed over the years, and then, yeah, I just feel like, well, gosh, you know, what's the point? Is this really for me? Why am I doing this? And then all that negative thought trash happens. And then, you know, then it can just take one special conversation. It can take one, oh, let me add vineyard blend. And then all of a sudden it's just like this jolt of nitrous, like, meaning like a race car, like boom, like I want to go again. Yes, thank you, God. That's right. I am on the right path. This is the right mission for me. And then, you know, I can get re-energized again. But, you know, then sometimes that doesn't happen, and then it can just droll on. And I mean, I like that we're talking about this, and Jake is right. I think when you see other people posting, and it does add good energy, you know, to doing it. I don't think I really have an answer for it, just acknowledging that I've been there, and it can be dark and ugly when I get there, because then I just feel icky. And
Right.
you do have a gift, you know?
Right. But it sounds like your reaction to me that most often pulls you out is to do the work. That's the only way that you get back. You got to get back up on that horse.
Something I had to do is get to make up. I know it's simple and it's not a lot, but to just get in the habit of going to my office on Monday morning after our Zoom call. That's my routine because I want to keep up with the shipment notifications. And then, sometimes then I'm tempted to go over to Teamsy and start doing, especially some of the things now that you've been hosting, Susie, and making suggestions about and giving us the verbiage is awesome. And like Olga said, it comes natural. The verbiage is coming natural, but then we can also fit it to us personally. But getting in one habit, for me, just one habit on Mondays is to get in contact with my customers. That gets me inspired again, like that, oh God, yes, I'm here to help families thrive. So one simple step.
Love it. Jake?
I've been there too, Lori, too many times to count. And as a QNMD, I've questioned if I'm on the right path. And I just, it's crazy. Now I look back on it, I'm like, what was I thinking for that 13 seconds? Where else could I work for as little as I have to work and make the kind of money and have the impact on people's lives that I get to have every single day? I couldn't do that anywhere in my community. I figured it up the other day. I would have to work over 70 hours a week. Work 70 hours a week in my community to make what I make. And I don't have to work that hard here, and I get to make a difference in people's lives. That's important. It's really, really important. So what I do when I get in those ruts is I will go back to something that inspires me. NMD speeches light me up. How many of you, we've been at a conference and we sit there and we bawl and we laugh and we can relate to those stories. That's what I will do to get me fired back up again. Make me remember why I'm doing this.
That's a really good idea. Sometimes I forget to do that. Maybe I need to make a survival checklist.
Yeah.
And
Really,
then,
if we made how are we going to react? So Jake might listen to NMD speeches. Somebody else might call a friend, and somebody else might just force themselves to do something for 3 minutes. I mean, I think that's a great idea. What would be your survival checklist to get out of the funk?
Right.
I was also thinking, one thing, as Dar mentioned, she gets in the habit of, this is what she does on Monday mornings. And I think about this, okay, if we worked for somebody else, could we just kind of do whatever we wanted to do? Could we just, I think I'll just go work in the garden today instead of actually doing my job, as Lori was referring to. We couldn't do that, right? So why is it that we will give everything that we've got to somebody else to build their dreams, but we won't do it for ourselves? Why is it that we do that? It just seems so crazy to me that that's what we will do. But I think every one of us will fall into that at some point or other. So if we were to block out time, set out our calendar like on Sunday or on Friday as we're finishing up the day on Friday, and look at the coming week and say, okay, what are the things that I want to accomplish this next week? What are my goals for this next week? And then sit down and do that. And if you do that training, especially if you're a VF QSC or above, still can't remember that terminology, QSC or above, and you do that
Mapping.
The downline growth mapping. If you do that, that is basically going to set up your DMO for the rest of the month. You're going to know who you need to talk to, who you're going to need to work with. And then you can block out that time. And so if you schedule that time in your calendar, and then, you're important. Your life is important. Your business is important. Make it a priority. And I'm talking to myself just as much as I am to anybody else, because I will get really, really busy. And I have a lot going on, but I will also pour into so many other people that I don't work on my own business, and I don't reach out to my own people as much as I need to. So I need to start time blocking again. I used to be really good at that, and I've gotten away from that.
Amen. It's just recreating these habits. Go ahead, Lori.
Oh, just everything Jake says, like, resonating with me. And I've often pondered that too. And it's like, Are some people just born with that mindset to be diligent and disciplined and, read a book every hour and they're so on track and, and so it is a creating new habit, I would say, and realizing that what we've got is worth investing time in and not get distracted. But sometimes it can be a bigger struggle for me than others where, I admire that people can be that task oriented and that disciplined in their vision for their future. So,
Well, and have you done the why sheet? Maybe if we have such a big why, if you time block, think of the income you're making and how many minutes or hours you work for that. That's probably a heck of a hourly wage, right there. But you were very diligent to build yourself up to where you are.
I think I became complacent somewhere, and I'm working through that. And, I'll just share with you guys in case anybody's here, but I just had felt so desperate. Like I so desperately want a certain income every month. So there can be more choices and options. And I'm certain that desperation can come out. Not even that I even realized it was there. I was speaking with somebody and that kind of came up. I'm like, well, I never really thought of it like that. And then they mentioned, oh, well, what about think about this person and think about how they are always, just full of energy. It's always positive. There's no desperation noted in that person. So for the last couple of weeks when, like I say, I got a prospect, because I've had a couple prospects. And like Greg, for example, right? I have somebody, you guys, who used to be on my team. He reached out to me out of the blue, wanted to get 3 tower gardens. Like I was stoked and ready for that to close in May. But I just okay, let go of the desperation. I don't need to keep following up with them, praying about it. Well, then now it's here. June is gone by. And now we're into July. And we've had a conversation, still not feeling desperate. But a couple of these that I was not desperate over turned into orders. So it was a much better place to live in the non-desperation zone than it was the desperation zone. And the paycheck stayed great this month, so I'm thankful for that. So I'm growing, which is pretty awesome to see too.
Absolutely.
Awesome,
And I love that. I remember Kurt Beaver's teaching on that if we're always just talking to the same 3 prospects and the same 3 customers, and they don't move and they don't get excited and they don't show up to events and we get desperate, and they feel that, then it's just like icky kind of feeling. But you can see Lori's got other people. She's talking to people. She's staying in touch, but she's not hounding Greg. I know she wants to a little bit. But I think that's important. He said, if you have so many people in your funnel, and that's what we're trying to create with these adding more good posts, that you're reaching out and you're having so many people, please don't, every time we say contact 3 or more prospects, contact the same 3 prospects, because it'll just drive you nuts. I have people that I always think, oh, they'd be so great on my team. And, oh, she's so good at this and she's so good at that. And it's not for them. Their timing isn't now. They're not interested in it. So I can either make my friendship really awkward and ruin it, or like Lori is saying, you just have to work on not being desperate, because you're not desperate. Come on, guys. There's tons of people out there. There are people out there you might just run into. Look at Deanna Christofferson, the main people she brought in on her team. She didn't even know them. She met them out shopping. So you don't know, who you're going to meet. So, but anyway, I really appreciate the transparency and the sharing from so many people today, because it is important to know that, no, it's not just, life is not a bowl full of cherries every day. It's not easy. We don't have a boss giving us a list saying you need to get this done before you go home today. We are our own boss. We have to decide, okay, we're giving you the list. Will you do it? Maybe you're going to have to fire yourself at the end of the day and rehire the better you in the next day. And just don't go back and keep thinking about, I didn't do it yesterday. Who cares? Today's a new day. What matters is today, and just focus on that. So, dang, I'm getting that call again, Ron.
Oh,
Can you talk a little bit, Jake, about what we talked about? Hello, just a minute, please. The Michaela events coming up, and we're going to be posting dates for that.
Okay, so who got to watch the video with us last week with Michaela? Was that awesome? Oh my God, I love it. So she is going to update that. She's going to do a little tweaking. I noticed that in the graphics that during the studies, they weren't listed. And so I pointed that out to her and I says, we really need to add that. So we're gonna add that. We're gonna tweak a few things, and she's gonna redo the talk for us, and so that we can have a really good copy without the pop-ups that were happening. And then what we'd like to do is use that at least once a week, if not twice a week, once maybe during the day and one in the evening, where we would have two people host and co-host. So like last week, Susie and I hosted and co-hosted. And so this week, what we'd like to do is Susie's going to host and she's going to find a co-host. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to host, I'm going to have a co-host. And we're going to do the same next week. And then our co-hosts will find a co-host to host with. And so that we can let all of you lead. And it's so simple because Susie did all the verbiage. All you got to do is read it, practice it. What I did was I printed it out and I taped it on my screen. If you can't figure out the mechanics of bringing that up on a Word document while the meeting's going on. And so this is going to be a really great opportunity for you to bring your people, invite your prospects, your teammates, your customers. I mean, gosh, what a great opportunity to invite your customers so that they can really see what Juice Plus is doing in their body, right? Give them that reminder. I mean, I know that sometimes this sounds crazy, but sometimes I forget how awesome Juice Plus is. Not really forget, but I take for granted how amazing Juice Plus is, right? And so how much more so do our customers need to be reminded of that? So we're going to be hosting this. So please take advantage of this, because this is like this amazing gift that Michaela keeps giving and giving and giving and giving and giving to us. And I think that this is probably one of the very best product presentations I've ever seen. And I love the way that she did the things at that very last slide where she talked about loving it forward. You know, now that you know, who can you love it forward to? And so what that's doing is that's planting a seed in somebody's brain that, oh yeah, I've got this really amazing gift, this really great information. I need to share it with somebody else. And so I thought that was really brilliant. Well, she didn't mean to do that. Actually, that was a presentation for it was actually for a group of distributors in California. She didn't realize we were going to be using it for prospects, but I thought it was brilliant. And so she's like, yeah, I kind of do like that. So she's going to leave that in. So, Susie, you're muted.
Well, we had a brand new rep on, and we asked her, how did that feel to her? Was it an awkward feeling, you know, thinking who she would bring on the call and everything? And she's like, oh my gosh, I loved it. She says, I don't know how to ask people or to move them to bring people on or to even let them know this amazing community is here. And so to have all the science and the education, but then all of this in a short presentation. And she said, I never felt sold to. I just felt like she was sharing her story so genuinely, and that, you know, this made sense. So I did this, and then I did this. And she just weaves it in so effortlessly. So it was interesting to get feedback from people who've been on the team for a long time, but also from a brand new person, that every single person was like, oh my gosh, yes, I would totally invite people to this. This is powerful. And our goal then is, once we get going here, we'll have enough of these lined up that we'll always be able to say at the end of the call, you know, get with the person that invited you, you know, because then they could be inviting their friends that you don't even know, you know, which would mean they might sign up as a rep, or you might just be a rep for their friends. The other thing Jake and I both noticed, we heard the presentation twice that day. We already thought the presentation was great, but by the time we did it the second time, we learned more new things. We're like, oh my gosh, You know, it like started clicking in my head. So it's okay to invite people, come back and listen, because even as many years as we've been in this, we so appreciated listening to it the second time, same recording, than just the first. So just know that's going to be happening. And I'm afraid I'm going to get another call like this. I want to make sure and get the drawing out. So let me see who's on here today. High Overall, for the High Overall $50, where they just had the most points for the month. She's not on because she works during the day, but it is Ashley Pressler, and that is DAR's new rep. So yay, Ashley, we'll get the message out to her that she has won $50. Just a minute, let me get my little raffle app. I've listed everybody's name. Okay, are we ready? Do we have a drum roll? Oh, just in case you don't know, anybody who at least had a customer, or if you're new and you get points if you became a P+, a QSC, all those things add points. Everybody has a chance at the second $50 prize, okay? So, and you can win again, because Lori's always so lucky. I'm like, dang girl, but here we go. Okay. It's Olga. Is Olga still on the call? She's not on my screen.
Yep, she's there.
Oh, she is there. Oh, yay. That's so good. That's so good. So, Olga, do you want $50 cash or $50 Amazon?
Cash. I don't like Amazon.
Just give me the cash. Show me the money, huh? Well, that's really exciting. And I guess that's
awesome.
all I have, but congratulations. And I will get posted. I apologize. Last month, somehow I didn't post all the people and that they sold products. So I think I will do a May and June, just so people's names can go in there. And, you know, it's always nice to go on and just comment so that they see people are seeing, hey, I did work this month. And anybody who sells 3 or more items, the majority of people sell 1 or 2. I just can't list all those. You know, it just seems like it wouldn't be as special. So I do have a cutoff that it has to be 3 or more products to get listed in there, because that's not the norm. Most people are going to do 1 or 2 every month. So just want to acknowledge them. So we'll look out. I'll post for May and June. Anybody have any final things they want to ask or say or share?
I wanted to share something. Well, I've been thinking I'm one to make lists always. Okay, let me get this done. Laundry, workout, blah, blah, you know, fuck this one. But as far as my Juice Plus business, I hard on myself, and I'm like, who can I call? What should I say? But as listening to you guys and everything, I really realized what I really should be saying to myself is, who can I bless today? You know, who could use this to help their lives more than like me, and how many customers can I get and how much money am I making? Definitely, I have to change that too, because I do that as a teller at work. We have to give referrals and everything, but one of my things that every morning I say to myself is, who can I bless today? You know, just sitting on my window, this smile, compliment, anything. And I'm gonna bring that into my Juice Plus instead of like worry so much as to how many customers did I get, how much money did that make me? You know, just get out there and talk to people and love on them and see who I can bless with it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Love
Could
it.
we end with any better word than that? That's fantastic.
I just want to remind everybody really quick that Lisa Pebble is doing she's our product management and development team leader. She's doing a behind the scenes look at Juice Plus growers this Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time on Facebook Juice Plus page.
Is that something
will
do
go
a
ahead.
watch party?
Pardon me?
Can you do a watch party on that and have it on your news feed?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So even if you can't watch it at that time, you can go back. It'll be available. Yeah.
And if anybody wants a boot camp, the big Cherry Festival boot camp is next weekend, I think Friday and Saturday. And there's a 1-day boot camp here in Charlotte. These are all virtual. Most of them are $5 or free. So I will go ahead and make a listing of those in case you want to. It's not this weekend. It'd be the next Friday and Saturday. So this week, is what Jake is saying. Thursday the 9th is Lisa Pebble. And then the following week. And if somebody wants to take those and make a watch party and stream it into Team Ignite, I'm totally good with that. I did sign up for that Tony Robbins event, which is going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You did too. And it's 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Daily. So I'm really going to immerse myself in that. But I just want you to know that team group it's for the team. So if you say, wow, I'd want to put this as a watch party or put it through Zoom or however you want to do it so you can go back and listen again. I know that the Cherry Festival had some really a great speaker. I mean, they're all always good speakers, but just know you don't need to ask permission for any of that. That if that's something you want to go in and you know it will bless other people and it'll be there so you can go back and refer to it, you go for it. Oh,
Hey, thanks, guys.
thanks. I have one thing I forgot to say. I need 5 people within the next 10 days or so who will post a complete recipe in the Ignite Your Health, because I want to up the things about getting the free complete. I'm looking not just for smoothies, and I want it to be something you really make and take a picture of, or maybe you and your husband are eating it or your kids are enjoying it or something. So you don't have to tell me right now, but if you can do that, or you have somebody on your team that you go, oh my gosh, I know you make this complete. Maybe they're making pancakes, maybe they're making muffins, those smoothie bowls. We got to get Jackie to do those. Those are so pretty that she does. All the bars, the balls, whatever it is, but within the next 10 days that you would post the recipe and a picture, and it always gets more if there's a person in it, more response. That would be so awesome. So please consider stepping up to do that. Oh, I saw Carol say, yes, she'll do it.
And tomorrow is National Chocolate Day.
Good to know.
Turns out there's actually 2 National Chocolate Days, tomorrow and October 28th. So I guess there's a milk chocolate and a dark chocolate day. I don't know. But tomorrow would be a great opportunity to do a chocolate something with a smoothie. And you can, get on with, it's National Chocolate Day. This is what I'm doing, kind of thing.
Oh my gosh, Carol, will you lead in that? And
Sure.
Just post something in the morning saying it's National Chocolate Day, what you're doing. And then as many of us as possible, post some kind of juice plus something that you made with chocolate that day. Okay, let's make sure we support that post. People love recipes and they want something new for this summer. So
Yeah.
And then take it also to your own page,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Carol's going to post it in Ignite Your Health, but then, and if you share your own recipe or your picture or whatever in that commentary, take that and post it on your own page and say, hey, this is how I'm celebrating National Chocolate Day. With
Great.
15 plants.
Yeah.
Good idea.
15 plants and no guilt.
Ooh, okay, let's have fun with that. Thanks for sharing, Carol. That's awesome. Well, it is wonderful to see all of your beautiful faces. And we do have to compliment Debbie because we love the wig. We say, she's looking hot, isn't she?
I love it.
It really looks great on you, Debbie. That's just awesome. So, all right. Well, you guys go make it a great week. Remember, comment when you're done. Let's try. It's okay to have a warning zone and a danger, but let's make those corrections. Reach out if I can be supportive to you in any way, or to somebody else on the team that you connect with. And we've got your back. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful week.
Have a great day.